That's right, we're talking about basketballs today. I'm super, super excited. This tutorial was written by Galactic Victoria, and boy, oh boy, did she do a good job. This is going to be linked in the description. I can't wait for you to check it out. It's got tons of tips in here, and we are going to cover it real fast to get you started. Starting us off, we're in Blender. We're going to go ahead and click to get rid of the dialog. You can press A to select all, right-click to delete. Now that we've got that cleared out, we're going to go to Add, Mesh, UV Sphere. Now that we've got our UV sphere, I want to show you this bottom left menu where you can adjust the sphere. We're going to change it from 32 down to 16 to make it even lower poly, looking really good. And now that we got that looking good, you'll note that you can zoom in and out using your scroll wheel. You can click with your scroll wheel to look around. Now that we got that out of the way, we need to make some modifications to this sphere. First thing I'm going to show you is if you click the Tab key on your keyboard, you can switch into edit mode. You can also do that from this top left drop down. We're then going to press the X view to view it from the X side. We're then going to go into X-ray mode. Now that we're in X-ray, we need to go into face select. We're on item 1. You can go to number 3 by clicking this or pressing the 3 key on your keyboard. Now that we're in face select mode, we're going to select and drag through all the bottom half of those faces, and then we're going to press delete, and we want to delete the faces. With the bottom half of the sphere, we are ready to model the top half. We'll then mirror it later on in the tutorial. We can now click with our scroll wheel to look around. We do need to get out of our X-ray mode. Now that we're out of X-ray mode, I recommend pressing A to select all, pressing the period on your number pad, or the backslash if you're on Mac to frame select and view this so you can easily rotate around it. Now that we've got this selected, we need to click in number 1 on our keyboard to switch to vertex mode. Click out here to deselect. We're then going to click the center vertex here at the top and press the X key for delete, or you can right click and then we're going to click delete verts. That's going to delete all of those center little faces. And now that we got this down, we're going to zoom in, and what we want to do is select half on the left and half on the right. So click and then shift click these verts right like this. Just takes a moment. Make sure to not select these 2 center ones, and we'll do the other side. Almost there. Very nice. Now that we've got that all done, we can then go to our edge, and from edge we want to bridge edge loops, which is going to build these bridges. Really, really cool. Now that we got those bridges built, we're going to go back to the edge drop down, and we want to go to loop cut. Once we click loop cut, you can click 1 time. If you accidentally start dragging like this, just press escape. You can also click twice really fast to lock it in right at the center. Now that we got that nice and centered, we're going to zoom in. I'm going to use my hand tool up here to drag so I can click on these 2. So clicking once, then shift click the second one. Now that I got those selected, we're going to right click, merge verts at center. That merges them together. Really nice. We're going to do the same thing over here. Let's see if I can do that from a distance. Oh yeah, totally. Merge verts at center. Beautiful. Now that we got that nicely done, it's time to select the 5 center verts. So again, clicking 1 and then shift click the rest. Now that we all have all of those selected, you can use the hotkey S on your keyboard to select the scale tool. We want to drag those in just slightly, just to make it look like a basketball a little bit at the top. Now that we got that, you can see over here I use 0.8. You could even manually type in 0.8 if you don't like the ways yours look. And now that we've got that selected, it's time to switch to the edge mode. From edge mode, we can click with Alt click to select the entire edge. We're then going to Alt Shift click to select another edge, and another edge, and our 4th edge. Now that we have all 4 edges selected, these we're going to bevel inwards? I don't know how to describe it. It's pretty cool. It's like an extrusion downwards, but there's a lot of steps to get there. So now that we have all 4 of those selected, we need to go to Mesh, or is it Edge? I've done this a few times. Bevel Edges, it's under Edge. And then we're going to click Bevel Edges, and then you can just click 1 time, and then over here on the left, I like 0.02, I felt like made a good basketball. I might even try 0.03 this time. It's really personal preference to what you like. Now for segments, you do need to type 3 in under segments. And the next step, we need to go to our selection and go to more or less and select less. Now that we've selected this inward section, we can press the S key on our keyboard to scale that inward until, well, it's inward. I want it to look like a basketball. I should have gone to a different perspective before pressing S. See if I can get that just right. Come on, right about there. That's okay. It might be a little too much. So over here on the side, I can change that to 0.95, 0.95. I don't know if I like that. Maybe I need to go to 0.5. 0.5. Oh no, that goes all the way to the center. I want 0.9. 0.99, 0.99, 0.99. Again, this is all personal preference, so just get it to where you like it. I'm gonna try 0.97, 0.97, 0.97. That looks more like a basketball to me. I like that a lot. If you do it a little bit more, you'll get a lot more indent. So really, like I said, again, personal preference here. Now the next step is where things start to get really exciting. I'm very, very excited, you guys. I mean, if you can't tell, very excited. We're gonna go to the materials drop down over here, and we're gonna add a new material. Now this material is gonna be called orange. Then we're gonna go to the base color, clicking on this and selecting an orange color. Now you probably want to preview this to make sure it's the right color for your basketball. So right here at the top right, you can click viewport shading to see that orange on your basketball. And then the next thing we want to do is make the lines that we still have selected black. So we go and add another material. We're going to press new. We're going to name it black, maybe. And then the next thing we're going to do is press assign, which will assign it to the selection. So we'll go ahead and click assign. And then we need to recolor it, so clicking on the color, dragging it down to black, and now we've got our basketball actually looking like a basketball. Now it's only half a basketball, so let's go ahead and fix that. To fix that, we're going to go to our modifiers, adding a modifier, searching for mirror, clicking the mirror modifier, making sure to turn off the x-axis and turn on the z-axis. That'll duplicate the bottom half. Now there is a problem here in the center where there's a hole. To fix this hole, we need to go to merge and drag the distance for the merge to be a little bit bigger until it merges together. Now that that has merged together, we can apply this, but you can only apply from object mode. So we're going to press tab to switch back to object mode. You can also do that from the top left. We're then going to go to the drop down and hit apply. With that applied, basketball's looking good, but it's a little low poly. So if we hit right click, we can change it to shade smooth. Select it, right click, shade smooth. There we go, I'm like, what? And then you can also shade flat, or you could try shade auto smooth and adjust the angle. I personally prefer that shade smooth look. I think that looks the most basketball-esque. And now that we have our basketball really coming together, it is time to do the next step. And this is where things get a little bit hotter, a little bit scarier, but I promise once you learn these and you practice it, you're gonna be going and doing so many amazing things in Blender. So let's do it together. First thing we're gonna do is head to UV editing. And over here we can see the UVs for our basketball. We're gonna need to go back down to our material setting, and we're gonna start with orange. So we click orange, we're gonna click off in the distance to unselect all the verts. We then want to select the orange verts by hitting this select button. Now you can see all the orange verts are selected. We're then simply going to press A to select all. We're going to then press S to scale. We're gonna slide them down to make them smaller. We're then going to grab the G to move it and move it to the top left. We're then going to go down to black. We're going to hit unselect by clicking out in the distance. Then we're going to press select to select the black. Then we're going to come over here and press A to select all of these. Then we're going to press S to scale it. I mean, you're getting the picture here. You can scale it pretty small if you want. And then we're going to press G to move it to the top right. Now that we've got those selected, we can press A over here on the basketball to select all of them and make sure that they're not overlapping. That looks pretty good. Now that we've done that, we're going to be baking a texture. So we need an image to bake the texture to. So we're going to create image, new, and we want to call this basketball. I'm going to hit Control A, Control C to save that word for later. You'll see the name of the image, and it's basketball_BR. This name has to match the material name, which you'll see a little bit later in this tutorial. Now for the width, we're going to change that to 128 by 128. That's just a personal preference, and we'll click New Image. Now that this is ready to go, we need to color it. Now to color it is another really cool trick, just very new for me. I just learned this an hour ago. So we're going to hit Shading, and now on the Shading tab, we're going to press Shift A to add a texture, and we want an image texture. And then we can link this to the image texture we just created. So drop down, select basketball_BR. Now with this selected, we need to do that for both materials. So under slot 2, we're going to switch to slot A, or slot 1, which is the orange material, and also press Shift A, texture, image texture to add that image texture, making sure to drop down and select basketball_BR. Now that that is selected, we can head over to the camera icon on our ball, so the rendering section, and here under render, we can change it from Eevee to cycles. And under cycles, if we scroll down, we can select bake, and from bake, we want to make sure to change it from combined to diffuse. Now under diffuse, we need to turn off contributions for direct and indirect and only use color. Now that this is ready to go, all we have to do is hit bake, and you'll see over here on the left, we have that color applied. There is no color applied to the black because it's black, there's nothing there, so it just left it invisible. And with that, we are ready to export our image texture. To do that, we're gonna head back to UV editing. We're gonna hit image, save as, and save this. I'm gonna save it to my downloads so it's easy to find. And we're saving that as basketball BR, press save as image. We need to switch back to layout mode. We need to switch into object mode. We then need to go down to our materials tab, going to orange, hitting the minus symbol, going to black, hitting the minus symbol, and adding a brand new texture. And this is the one that we need to be naming basketball. So I'm pasting that in, Control V, because I copied that earlier. And with basketball in, we can now go to base color. And to preview this, you don't have to do this step, but I recommend it so you can make sure everything works. Hit the yellow dot, go to image texture, and you can open that image texture we just saved to downloads. So scrolling down, we're gonna see basketball BR, press open image, and there we can see our basketball loaded in just perfect. And we can now export this to import into Horizon. So we're gonna go File, Export, FBX, going into Downloads. We'll go ahead and name this basketball as well. Fortunately, I copy pasted that, so that was easy. Pressing Export FBX. And now it's time to head into Horizon. I don't need to save this because I exported the FBX and the image, so there's nothing in here that I need. And now here we are in Horizon. Welcome in. And so now that we're here, we're gonna go head over to My Assets, add a new asset, 3D model, and we're going to upload the basketball. So preserving offset pivots, I like to turn that off. We're then gonna go and select basketball and basketball BR, pressing open, pressing import, give that a moment to load in. Let's find a place to put it down here on the ground. There it is, almost done. Come on, basketball, basketball. If you chant it 3 times. Uh-oh, it was only 2 times. It worked with only 2 times. What's happening? Ah, sorry, I'm just kidding. It's funny. Anyway, here we have our basketball, and it is looking really phenomenal. It's kind of interesting, the reflections on it. I guess it's got a really shiny texture because it was using alpha on the roughness channel. That is something we teach in a different tutorial. I'll make sure to link that as well in the description. And yeah, there's our basketball. Press R, scale it down, and you're ready to go play some basketball with your friends. I mean, this is sweet. I actually really like the way that reflection hits. That is so cool. All right, guys, we have done it. We've made it to the end of the tutorial. I know it was fast. There's a slow down button. There's a slow down button. And there's also a step-by-step tutorial made by Galactic Victoria, who did such an amazing job. Thank you so much, Galactic. And I will see you in Horizon. I will play basketball with you in Horizon. Dribble, 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 shoot. And we're out of here. Bye.